Simon, after an interesting game, a 3-1 win here at home against Bedfont Sports, a somewhat sort of quiet, maybe a little cagey, sort of frustrating first half, and didn't start maybe too sharply or too brightly.
Yeah, it was a cagey game first half, particularly. And to be fair, I thought that would be the way it was. The way they play is individual to them, shall we say, and we planned for it. But I just felt that our thinking was a bit foggy in terms of the decisions we made. We went long when we should have gone short. Went into cul-de-sacs when we should have come out, and just things like that. So that's really what the story was of the first half. Of course, they make it very difficult for teams by just sitting in there, or everyone in their own half, just break us down, and we had to come up with some answers for that. Ironically, into the second half, it's when things got a bit tasty, with a few tackles flying in, a couple of yellow cards, etc. That upped it for us, and of course it's nice when you make changes and the squad come into the game and they make a big difference in the game. So that's what happened tonight. So overall, I'm pleased with it. But yeah, our thinking just needed to be better in the first half, and it was a bit slower than I'd liked it to be.
Yeah, and we maybe sort of didn't start the second half too greatly, and sort of almost looked a bit bleak from a fan's point of view when they slipped the ball through and go around Watkins and put themselves ahead. But it seemed like some changes and the boys really stepped up and bounced back from that, and were able to push themselves on and get the win.
Yeah, it was a poor goal from my perspective to concede. It was an individual error. Someone run off the back of someone, and that's not what we're about. So I wasn't happy with that. But the response is good, and we tend to have that in us. So and I think when we play with a tempo, then it's hard for teams to cope with us. When we play slower, then it's a bit easier for the opposition, and that's really the big change. But yeah, when you bring guys on and they make a big difference, kind of like Saturday, that's always nice for a manager.
Yeah, and then a somewhat fortunate equaliser with Tyler claims it was a shot on target, and then obviously bouncing off the defender over the keeper for an own goal, and then the penalty call from Duffy being pulled down that Ashton sort of fires home. What do you make of that?
I didn't see the incident in too much detail. Obviously, we'd take a pen. The second one was a clear pen, I think. I'm just delighted we smashed both of them in and got the goals, really. Overall we deserved it. Like I said, we were a bit foggy first half and could have been better. But once we played to our tempo, the pitch was quite long as well. That didn't necessarily help us. Once we got into our stride, there was only going to be one winner, and then at the end we defended really, really well when they decided to come out and try and play against us. So they're a tough team to play against, and they've had a great record. I think that's the first time they've lost this season. So we've got to be pleased with that, and we have to treat everybody with respect, and that's what we did. So overall very happy to keep the run going.
And after we did score the second, it was almost sort of night and day from the start of the game. We looked really free flowing, and obviously, as you mentioned, get the second penalty, which Sam then slots away again, and we seemed a lot more open and free flowing and playing a bit more of our style of football.
Yeah, well, goals give confidence, don't they? And it was a tough first half for our guys, as I said, but they seemed a lot clearer once we put a few things right at half time. And overcame the disappointment of conceding, and we had much more clarity of thought, and obviously our movement was a lot better as well, and we made better decisions, and those three things are what the game's about. So,
and now looking ahead to another game against a familiar foe again in Southall here on Saturday. What does the rest of the week look like? And are you expecting big changes from Southall after the win that we had against them previously?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, they won't want to receive a beating like they got a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. And I see they've improved. Watched them already. It'll be a completely different game if we allow it to be. And I've just said to the guys there, the outcome of each of these games is really what's between our guys' ears. If we want it to be something, it will be that, good or bad. So as long as we approach that right, we'll have a good plan again, I'm sure. Although I have to say, I think the plan we went with first half, that didn't click with our guys, so that's probably down to me. And the guys didn't execute but we adjusted within a couple of times, and that certainly did. So we'll look at it again and come up with a good plan. But yeah, trophies are a competition we want to go further in, and why shouldn't we? But more importantly, it's about continuing this momentum of wins, which we're in good shape with at the moment. It's a nice solid foundation.
And yeah, hoping for another positive result Saturday, and thank you for your time, Simon.
Thank you.